Hi everyone. Last time we learned how we can assign an exit responsibility to a user. Today we're going to do something else. Today we are going to define a new responsibility from scratch and assign this responsibility to EBS user. Basically what we need to have to do so is access to the EBS, and we need to have the sysadmin responsibility assigned to our user. Let us start with the navigation. Basically we are going to use the sysadmin menu. So what we need to have is this responsibility, sysadmin. You may have different name in your environment. It may be sysadmin or system administrator. I'm using the vision now, but it may be in your environment as a sysadministrator. Basically we are going to use this navigator, sysadmin, security, responsibility, and define. First of all, we need to know what this responsibility for. Mainly when we click responsibility, it may need to be assigned to application, the GL application, the AB application, or the SCM, the supply chain management, including inventory, procurement, or purchasing order. What we are going to do right now is create responsibility related to the general ledger, or the GL responsibility. So basically what we need to do first is the name of the responsibility. I will name it as XXGL underscore super user. So the next field we need to select the application. As I mentioned earlier, it will be the general ledger application, so I need to enter the general ledger application here. Now for the responsibility key, I'm going to use the same name for the responsibility. Basically what we can see in this form, we can see orange or yellow fields and white fields. If this field is yellow, this means this field is mandatory. Mandatory is a field that you must fill to finish the form. So for example, here I need to enter responsibility name, application, responsibility key, but I don't need to define description. I can do so, or I can ignore it and go to the next step. This is the first part of the screen, of the form. Second part is the effective date. So basically the effective date is the date this responsibility will be usable. So for example, this responsibility created in that 2nd of February 2019, and there is no end date. If I need to disable or deactivate the responsibility, I need to come to this form and enter a to date right here, and no one will be able to use this responsibility after this date. The third part of the form is available form. Mainly we use Oracle applications. This is the most usable one in the responsibilities. This fourth part is data group. Basically, what we use a standard data group. So we're going to enter the standard data group. This is the one defined by Oracle, the application, default one, and again I need to enter the application name, which is general ledger. The next step is to define the menu for the user. So basically, the user who is going to have access to this responsibility, the XGL super user, need to have a menu. This is what we mean by menu. This is the menu, and underneath we have submenus, and underneath we have a function. So basically I'm going to use the menu defined in the application, and this one is the general ledger again. So I'm going to use the super user GL, which is one. These two fields will leave them blank. We're not going to use them for any reason. The last bit we have is the request group. Basically, the request group is the group of requests that we need to run if we are using the application or the responsibility. So, for example, using the GL application through this responsibility requires the user to run requests, and these requests are in group in Oracle. And what we need to write here is define the group of requests that this user is going to use. So I will click this form right here, and I will select the general ledger. And what I have right here is the GL report, sorry, GL setup. This is a request the user needs to use. Underneath here we have 3 tabs. These tabs allow the sysadmin to include or exclude items or menu from this user, from this responsibility actually. Basically, in these forms, in the first one, for example, we can include or exclude function or menus. The menu is a parent and the function is a child, so we can define few function as a menu. And because the user who is using this responsibility can use this menu, we can exclude few function or few menus. But the standard is we're going to assign this menu to this responsibility without any exceptions. So now we finished. I just need to remove this this line right here, and click OK, and all done. Now we have this responsibility created. Now what I need to do is to assign this responsibility to the user. as I mentioned yesterday in our first video, we can do so by following this navigation. So again, I will go to security, user, define. I will select the user, and I will add a new line, and I will select the new responsibility. Here in this form, I can see exactly when the responsibilities have been assigned to the user. And what I can see right here is that the effective date for this responsibility is 2nd of February for this user. In case I need to disable this responsibility for this user, I just need to enter an end date, and he will not be able to use this responsibility anymore. I hope you found this video helpful for you. Thank you.